Vision gave the Mind Stone to T'Challa with the hope that he can use Wakandan tech to formulate a cure for the zombie outbreak. Along with Spider-Man and Scott Lang, T'Challa ventured to Wakanda, only to find a Thanos who was turned into a zombie, who desperately wanted the Mind Stone to complete his Infinity Gauntlet and has turned denizens of the secretive nation into mindless hordes of infected as well. Having his mind infected, Thanos wasn't able to use the gauntlet to its fullest potential but still manages to keep the Avengers on their toes. He uses the Infinity Gauntlet and controls the zombies. They corner the heroes. Thor, accompanied by Groot and Rocket, makes a heroic entry to thrash the undead. However, even they are no match for zombie Thanos, who uses the Power Stone to launch a powerful energy blast which kills both Rocket Raccoon and Groot. Thor survives while sustaining heavy injuries. Using the gauntlet, Thanos exposes Wakanda's underground molten vibranium core and is able to take the Mind Stone from T'Challa to wield a fully powered Infinity Gauntlet. T'Challa sacrifices his life by tackling Thanos into the molten vibranium core, falling alongside with him, which made an explosion, as a surge of massive energy emanates from the Infinite Stones which warps the reality around Wakanda. And in the nick of time, Peter and Scott are saved by surviving sorcerers of Kamar Taj. At present, sorcerers Rintra, Sarah, and London Master inform Scott and Peter that the Queen of the Dead, Wanda, is controlling a massive army of the undead, and they will have to face her soon enough. However, Rintra mentions they won't be alone in this fight, alluding to the group of surviving heroes who are making their way to New Asgard. Escaping from zombie Namor and his army of infected Atlanteans, the surviving heroes Death Dealer, Kamala, Jimmy, Shang-Chi, Blade, Alexei, and Katie reach New Asgard in Baron Zemo's escape vessel. Alexei was quite depressed after losing Yelena, his daughter. Kamala comforts him. Valkyrie stops the survivors at the gates of New Asgard, as they do not have the invitation to participate in the revelry that has been going on inside. However, Blade offers her audience with Khonshu. As convinced of their intention upon meeting with the God of the Moon, Valkyrie allows the group to enter New Asgard, untouched by concerns and troubles of zombie outbreak which has wiped out almost entirety of humankind. New Asgard is rejoicing to the fullest. However, Thor, carrying survivors' guilt and the trauma of losing everyone close to him, even Rocket and Groot during the fight with zombie Thanos, has entered a state of permanent depression. Kamala tries to reach him to show the transmitter, as she hopes that he can help her to get the device in outer space, but Valkyrie stops Kamala. Alexei and the rest of the team ease up a bit by joining the Asgardians in their revelry. Kamala is shocked to learn that a certain queen of Sokovia has arranged the food for the new Asgardians, and the entire group is alarmed to see the queen is none other than Wanda, who has arrived in New Asgard, showing no signs of infection. Wanda tries to compose Kamala by mentioning she was able to use her powers to cure herself, and she could have done the same for the rest of the world by using the power released by the Infinity Stones during the Wakanda event. However, Wanda reveals someone is hoarding the released power. Wanda shows her true color. It is revealed that she made Asgardians consume zombie flesh, showing them illusions of real food, and soon enough they turn into undead as well. Controlling the zombies, Wanda corners the survivors, and in the ensuing clash, Zemo, Jimmy, and Death Dealer meet their horrible end. As a bunch of undead aim towards Thor, Kamala protects him, which makes Thor finally break his stupor and take notice of the situation. However, Thor is surrounded by the zombies, and as Valkyrie tries to protect her king, Shang-Chi drags her to safety, deeming it too late to save him. Katie, Valkyrie, Blade, Kamala, Alexei, and Shang-Chi head towards the spaceship, and Alexei unfortunately gets bitten by a zombie. As the zombies surround them, Kamala has no other option except to leave infected Alexei with rest of them. As the spaceship takes off, Wanda arrives and uses her power to drag it back. Thor unleashes his thunder to hold Wanda long enough for Kamala and the rest of the team to escape using the spaceship. Kamala hopes that the last surviving Avenger would accompany them as well, but sacrificing himself to secure the future. Thor calls her an Avenger, strengthening her morale to keep up the good fight. Finally, in outer space, Kamala and her team breathe a sigh of relief, given they have the chance to call for help. Remembering the sacrifices that were made to give humanity a fighting chance, Kamala uses the transmitter to relay a signal to Nova Corps from the spaceship. Shockingly, moments later an entire fleet of Nova Corps spacecraft is seen surrounding them. Valkyrie suspects foul play. Her assumption is right, as a Nova Corps representative issues a warning for them to return to Earth, as the planet has been quarantined to prevent the zombie infection from spreading to other sectors of space. They aren't here to help the survivors but to ensure none of them get to escape the planet.